My wife and I have been married for nearly 14 years, and almost around a year ago, she went on a trip to another part of the country, and one of the things that she was going to do, she was going to visit an ex-lover of hers. And while she was on the way there, I'd been thinking about it, and I said to her that I wanted her to do whatever she felt she wanted to do, because for me, her freedom was more important than feeling like she would be restricted. I wanted to say it not because she needed permission, but because I wanted her to know that I had peace with that possible outcome.
And because you were you were preparing your grid in this sense. You realized that you were in a situation where, without doing something you didn't want to do, you could not control another. So you did the only thing you could do. You controlled your vibration. Yeah. And this hopefully becomes clearer as I go on, but I felt it. It wasn't just a thought. It was a feeling in me, and I rejoiced, and I was proud. Because you were free.
Yeah.
Otherwise you were in bondage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it felt good.
Yeah.
However,
well, let's just say, whether you had offered that intention or not, the outcome would have been the same. However,
yes.
You prepared yourself for the outcome and came out of it in a very good vibrational stance.
Yeah. And it's been, the experiences that I've had since then, and our relationship since then, has been wonderful in ways that I couldn't really have imagined. But the thing is that at times since then, I've also experienced what could kind of be said to be the opposite of those things.
Yeah.
I've had emotions of insecurity.
Because it was something that you aspired to and found temporarily, but you've not practiced enough to maintain on a regular basis. So now, when those bouts of insecurity come up within you, it causes you to launch a rocket. And as you follow the tails of that bright rocket, eventually there will not be a however part to this conversation.
I can see it's already less than it was in terms of my times where I'm wobbling and having...
Well, really, what is the alternative? When you think about a relationship, an important relationship, what's the alternative other than the path to freedom that you amplified there for a little bit? What really is the alternative? Is there one?
Well, I don't think there is one.
There is not an alternative. No. You can't say to someone, you try, we will love, honor, and obey. Are you kidding?
Quite.
Until hopefully death comes soon. That was for you. So, what is the alternative?
There isn't one.
There's not an alternative. So what is the only thing that you can't... In other words, what are you going to do? You're going to do what you did, and you're going to keep doing what you did.
So at the times where it seems harder for me, when I'm in the bad place to get to the good place, what do I do to shift it?
Go general. Okay. So describe the bad place, if you want to.
Feeling that I am not as loved as I'd want to be, feeling that I'm not as intimate with somebody I love very much as I would want to be, and as I fear somebody else maybe more than I am. It's rubbish. It's crap.
Well...
But I don't want to have it in me.
So each time something comes up, so take the subject of...
And I know it's not true. That's the other thing. I have these thoughts or feelings, but I know they're not true.
Well, this is really an important thing. You know it's not true for a number of reasons, but you've got to know it's not true because the discord that you're feeling is your indicator that the broader part of you sees it entirely differently.
Yeah.
So what you're really reaching for here is, how can I, in this moment of discomfort, soften my thoughts? And by soften them, we mean make them general. Because you could ignore it, but something this big, it's not likely that you will ignore it. So you've got to soften it. You sort of got to talk yourself back from the ledge, so to speak. So what might I say to myself to soften my thoughts enough to allow me to again resonate with what I really want and with the way Source sees that? This is a conversation that just erupted here today in a new and clear way about seeing through the eyes of Source, but it feels a little funny to apply that to something as specific as something like this. What is Source really thinking about this situation? What do you think Source is thinking? Well, Source is thinking that the way you feel would be best not to be tied to any other, because you just can't count on anybody to be around to stand as your object of attention. There are so many reasons that you don't want your happiness to depend upon someone else. And so this gives you an opportunity to find your true alignment with what you're really wanting. Now, we're not trying to guide you away from holding this particular person for the rest of your life as that central object of attention. We just want you to know that by giving yourself this opportunity early on in the experience of relationship with this person, that you're going to work the bugs out of that early on, which is going to put you on more steady footing for the rest of your physical experience together. You get what we're talking about?
Absolutely.
In simple earthling terms, you would say something like, well, you've been through the worst of it, and if you can survive that, then you can survive anything. And that is not exactly the way we mean it. What we mean is, we think it is a lovely thing that out of reaching for an ideal, because when you sent her on her way to rendezvous with someone that you called an ex-lover, and we almost interrupted you and said, there's no such thing as a relationship that does not continue. Every relationship is an eternal relationship.
I'm beginning to understand that.
When you have loved someone, that love is still there. In other words, love is still there. And physical humans do such a weird thing by saying, well, I only have so much love to go around. Well, this is special love. This is sensual love. This is sexual love. This is a different kind of love. We say it doesn't make any difference. You don't only have so much love to go around. You have eternal focus and love to go around. And you get to decide where you want to project it. And we're not encouraging you all to go out and spread your love around. That's really not the point of it, although most of you would be a lot happier if you did.
Why not? It's true.
What we are encouraging is that you don't say something to yourself like, this important love is only meant for you and yours is only meant for me, which means that anything that came before us must now stop. Because there is first of all, a shortage consciousness in that, but second of all, it defies all of the logic and reason that the laws of the universe provide. No one has the ability to change their point of focus, nor do you want to. And let's go back to the subject of the statues again that we were talking about. The statue that stands as a monument and is imbued with all of the contrasting characteristics that caused it to develop into that. So first of all, your partner, your wife, would not even be who she is if it were not for that relationship. Would not even be the object of your love if it were not for that relationship. And as you accept that and relax into that and then decide that you're going to be a person who lives in the now, who is not hinging your well-being on anything that might be in the future or on anything that has been in the past, that your relationship is about right here and now where all of your power is. And if you will let your dominant intention be to understand and establish and take care of the relationship between you and your source, so that you're now looking at this woman through the eyes of source, then it will all come together in that way that you want it to be. It's really a wonderful experience.
It is.
Yeah.
And thank you for clarifying it.
Yeah.
Thanks.